welcome to this interview. We are here with Jim Young from the Digitalisation Agency of Norway. So we definitely know that you are using many products and semantic assets used and produced in the SEMIC community, like, for example, co-vocabularies or, for example, the co-public service vocabulary. So can you tell us in which way, for your work, SEMIC can help you with this product and services?
Yes, thank you, Giorgia. Our agency is responsible for, in this context, two things. The first one is the National Data Catalog. It's actually not just a catalog, but it's a catalog portal. In this portal, we have an overview, a national overview of the data sets, also an overview of the concepts that are related to data sets or not, and also an overview of information models, which describe the data set, and also APIs, and also, the last but not least, the services. Events and services. So that's one of the responsibilities that our agency has, to have national overview of the things that should be shared and reused. So once only, and data sharing and the reuse is also a national principle in Norway, not only the EU principle, but also the national principle. In order to do that, to have a national overview, we are using distributed architecture. It means also once only. The public agencies, they should describe the things once only, not twice. So we are based on a distributed architecture that we, as much as possible, automatically harvest from the sources. In order to do that, we have to have specifications. How to do that? Not only for human beings, but also for the machines, because reuse sharing is also for the machines, that machines should understand each other. So in order to do that, we have to have national specifications. When EU also have those standards at the EU level, why not use it at the national level too? So that's why we use very many of the EU specifications and standards at the national level. So we're not only using the core vocabularies, but also the application profiles, DCAT-AP, although we are using BRAG DCAT-AP because it also covers the other aspects that are also many of the countries are interested in. For instance, to connect to legal resources, why you are collecting data, why you cannot share the data, etc. And also the quality aspects, BRAG DCAT-AP also covers. So at the application level, we are already using the application profiles from EU. You mentioned also CPSV. For instance, we use CPSV-AP also at the national level to describe the public services, not only the public services, but also the services in general. That's why we have national application profile, in order to have the extensions that are necessary at the national level. So that's one part of the reuse from EU. That's the application profile. Then the core vocabularies that you mentioned, for instance, core vocabulary for also CPSV-AP. That's one of the core vocabularies that we use.
Do you have an extension of CPSV?
Not yet, but we use CPSV-AP in connection to CPSV-AP because CPSV-AP has only some of the CEV things, but we need more aspects to be described in order to describe the services. So we use also CPSV, for instance, and also core person, core location, etc. We have our national core vocabularies for person, organization, and also location. When we started this work, the core vocabularies from the EU level were not yet ready yet, so we had to make our national core vocabularies. So we are going to revise our national ones, try to align with the EU core vocabularies. The third thing is the authority tables published by the Publications Office. They are very useful because in order to share machine readably, we have to have those things published. at one place. That's again reuse. Reuse by pointing to instead of copying and rewriting the things. So that's the real reuse. So that's the third thing, group of things we also use at the national level. So we try to use as much as possible the authority tables published by the Publications Office in order to point to the same definition, the same concepts.
And what do you think about how SEMIC can help you for your future plans in your country? Do you think SEMIC would be important as it has been now, as you described? Do you think SEMIC should do something more for your future plans in your digitalization in your country?
The one thing is to continue this kind of work at the EU level to make EU standards for how to describe metadata. The other thing is to sort of collect national application profiles. What is done in Italy, what is done in Sweden, what is done in Germany, and collect all those application profiles at the same place to have not only the application profile published together or pointed or link it together, but also have a community where we can discuss with each other. How do you solve this? How do you, why not? Or why this way? So that's the one thing. The other thing is to make more guidance how to make national application profiles, and also to explain more what is actually behind the application profile at the EU level, and also about the authority tables, the code lists, the classifications. Also make guidelines how to make national extensions, because quite often we need to have a sort of national codes which are not at the EU level, for instance. How do we do that? In order to not only have the national extensions, but also connect to the EU level, and also interchangeable with the other countries if they also have national extensions. So more guidelines how to use and reuse and extend the EU product from SEMIC.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Thanks a lot.